Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thanks for joining me on what I feel is a future classic. Let me share with you what I mean by that. So all of these things where we kick ourselves for not buying the 67 GT500 or a Hemi Superbird or a Hemi Cuda or these cars that are worth a lot of money right now. In the world of those cars, we didn't know. We didn't know back then. They were just cars, right? But here's a perfect example of something that potentially could be that next great car. Here's why I say that. When you can buy a factory car that you could take your family out in, okay, your family out in that looks this exotic. This is an exotic looking car, okay? It's spectacular looking. In camera, it's even better in person. But what it offers is almost 800 horsepower. It offers almost every single option you could get from the factory. It's never been in the rain. It's with climate control storage, right? It is super low miles. It is untouched, virgin, everything on this car, right down to the tires, brake pads, battery, everything in there is all original, and it is a spectacular piece. Imagine having a full leather interior while you listen to your Sirius sound come through the stereo and decide that you brought the red key today, not just the black key. Oh, what'd you say, Tone? Whoa, why is there two keys? Oh, you didn't know about the two keys. We're going to talk about that as well. Anyway, let's get into this party because this right here is a party. All right, so it's hard to believe that this is factory paint, but this is Tour Red paint, and it is some kind of red as well. The shine is amazing, and also, too, it really hasn't been outside. It's been to shows and some things like that, so it really hasn't had the weather on it. But I do want to say this, that if you come up here and check this out, it's really nice. Also, too, this matte black right here, it's painted red underneath the inside of the hood, so if you wanted this car all red, it'd be very simple to fix that if you wanted to. However, I kind of like the way that black breaks up the whole car and adds the same touch as the wheels do, too. Come on up here, let's check that out next to the HELLCAT. And I did get a quick lesson from Angie about the HELLCAT, and it's a World War II fighter plane that also used a similar style supercharger, which is why we now all call all these HELLCATs. Anyway, let's talk about wide body. Let's talk about that kind of stuff. Here you'll see this car looks different than the other Chargers that are out there, because what I get from people all the time is, hey, Tone, that is a great looking car. And I'm like, thanks so much. But we don't always know why it's a great looking car, right? Let's take a quick moment and check that out. So for instance, right here, huge intakes here, great looking headlights with the markers there in LED. We have the wide body kit, which is a fender bolt-on and a complete front and rear bumpers that are completely different than a regular Charger, all right? It just adds a whole nother dimension to the car. And the simple fact is that this is a four-door and potentially could be a family car if you wanted to, but it could definitely be a daily driver, and it's definitely set up to do all the things that you need to do and make sure that that you get there as quick as you need to. If you got to get to soccer in under 3 minutes because you're running late, this is the machine you need to take. All right, so before we get in here, I want to talk about functionality for a second. So we got cold ram in here, we got heat that can escape from here, all right? And then let's get into what we got going on here. This is a pretty impressive package when you think about it. So for instance, a lot of people may not be aware, but this is actually smaller than the standard SRT Hemi engine. You said, Tone, I did not know that. I said, yeah, it's 6.2 liters. The other ones are 6.4 liters. Why? Because the blocks are completely different. This is a much stronger block, right? The 6.4 liters were not nearly as strong as these. And then when you're adding that kind of pressure inside the cylinders and horsepower, that's amazing. This is almost 3 liters of supercharger power. 3 liters. Some engines aren't even this big, right? And that's just a supercharger. Cold air induction coming in here, coming right in this slot right here, so it's not sucking in the hot air. So many things have been thought out in here, and it's a beautifully packaged compartment, especially if you want to go to like a car show, Cars and Coffee or whatever, and you want to open the hood. Not a lot of people are going to see these. First of all, they don't make a lot of them, right? They're very expensive, right? A lot of these are over $100,000 when they were new, and here you just have a show car that every time I get in one, I'm so impressed. Once we get inside the interior, you're gonna be like, wow, I had no idea that they were that nice inside as well. Anyway, the motivation of this here and this heavy duty truck transmission that's in here, truck transmission, right? 1,000 horsepower plus truck transmissions are in here because they can handle the torque and things like that. A regular car transmission could never do that. All right, so I do like to talk about this because I love the styling of these cars. First off, this wing says I'm a performance car. I love this band of light that's going all the way across there. This is letting you know there's some serious stuff going on here, and maybe you want to remove those emblems to be a little sneakier. Maybe not let everybody know what you got under the hood. Up to you. However, back to the original statement that this right here was and is a functional car. A functional car. Look at the size of this trunk. It is huge. Sorry, there was one tiny piece of dust in there. I wanted to get that out because this car is like brand new. Still got the net in here, inside down in here. You have all of the storage. You got your battery back here. Comes with a compressor, all right, onboard compressor for that. And I think it's just cool when you think about like future collector cars to have all of that original stuff in there. Anyway, seems to me that you could put in 4 or 5 bags of luggage, go away for the weekend, and not many people are going away to a winery or what have you with 800 horsepower. All right, so you're walking up to your race sedan. That's what I like to call it, the race sedan, right? It's just so good looking. I'm excited to do this video because every time I look at it, I see something new on it. I say, you know what, Dodge did a great job designing and packaging this car, especially a bigger car like this, making it handle and making it be able to go straight and fast and what have you. Super nice. However, the outside of it is great. You're not going to spend a lot of time looking at that because most of your time will be inside. So why don't we go ahead and get inside and talk about that next. All right, so come join me in here in what I say is just a really, really nice interior. So, like, check out this upgraded leather that's in here. Not only is it heated and cooled, but it's got contrasting stitching, this aluminum trim. The dash is covered as well. Great steering wheel, multifunction, and it's a real-world car. It's a 220 mile an hour speedometer, right? This thing is serious, 7,000 RPM tack. And then it has a lot of things for race mode. None of them have been activated yet, but you could try them if you want to. It has a shift light that's built in so that you don't have to look down at the tack and know when to shift. It has a chiller to cool it down. It has line lock, launch control, 2 different styles of keys. You have one, the black key, which you want to give everybody else, right? This reduces the horsepower by a lot. This we call the valet key. And then there's the red key. The red key is the how you doing key. All right, you get that thing out there, you all the thing that you can say is how you doing. Anyway, beautiful interior. Glad you could spend some time with me in here. Let's go for a ride. All right, so I'll close up the video. Listen, there are reports of these cars. I don't know anything about them, just reading off what the interwebs, right, of them approaching the 200 mile an hour mark, right? 800 horsepower here. I mean, wow. Serious brakes, serious power, serious interior, Harman Kardon sound, heated and air conditioned, climate control, and I keep going back to almost 800 horsepower, and I'm just blown away by the fact you could buy this off the showroom floor. Think about that for a second. You walked into the dealer and like back in the day, like 300 horsepower, 350 in a Corvette was like a lot of power, right? And now they're selling cars at 800 horsepower. Come on, man, you gotta get this car. Anyway, think about future collectibles. It's one of those things I talk about. You just never know. Low production, low mileage, super rare cars like this. We see them as a future collectible. Maybe you missed out on the GT500 or the Buick GNX or the Sunbeam Tiger or all of these little things that were collectible cars that weren't a ton of money back in the day. Now we see them headed this way. Got to find a way to get it in your garage. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this Charger Widebody HELLCAT REDEYE, and that is a mouthful. All right, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below. It helps get our message out. I really appreciate that. And if you don't mind, maybe subscribe to the channel. We got new stuff coming out all the time. Maybe share it with your friends too. They may like to see what we have, and I'll see you on the test drive. So let me tell you, we're going for a drive today, and we all know that these quarter mile times, 0 to 60 times are great, but what you don't know is that these cars actually handle. Can you imagine this being your family car? 40 or 50 years from now, people will be driving electric cars, and they'll be like, somebody had an 800 horsepower family car that went around the corner like this. Like, check this out, man. This is unbelievable. And it runs and drives like you wouldn't even know what's under the hood. It's just a regular car until you feed it some throttle. And when you feed it some throttle, how you doing? How you doing? You're that little bit of blower whine just as you tip into the gas some. So great. Listen. Is there a better sound than a blower whine? Oh my God. Anyway, I just think that they never really tell you how great they handle it. They always talk about how fast they go straight, and this just drives so nice around the corners, as well as clearly it goes straight fast too. But listen, it's just so easy. We're not even 4,000 RPM, so we're just going for a little drive. You were nice enough to get me out of work today, and I appreciate you for doing that. Well, anyway, thank you for going for this awesome test drive. Not often you get to get out on a beautiful day, throw 800 horsepower out there, beautiful leather seats, and a low mileage, soon to be, even more soon to be, collector car. We are going to be talking about this drive 25 or 30 years from now and going, man, I remember back in the day when you could get the 800 horsepower fuel-powered car. Oh, I got to get one, and it's going to be cool. Anyway, thanks for riding with me. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.